Hey everyone! Welcome to the second part of how to draw faces. Last video went a lot longer than I expected, but covered important stuff. So today we're just going to be looking at hair and ears. So ears are kind of one of those things that you don't really pay attention to until you realize, oh, I wish I had paid attention to that. So we're just going to give them a brief look. And let's look at first, this is the side view of the head, what we usually think of when we're thinking about ears and how to draw them. This is like a back view, and this is more of a front view. This could also be a front view. People's ears stick out from their head different amounts, and if you have long hair and it's down, you may not even need to draw ears. But if you have short hair or if your hair is pulled back, you will need to draw these. Now, one interesting thing is that ears are different sizes, different shapes for people, but the top of your ear, or not even the top of your ear, but the part where the ear connects to your face or to your head, is always at the same level as the corner of your eye. So this line that we drew right here for where the eyes go is also where the ear connects to the head. Now your ear could go up a little bit from there and then come down. And then the bottom of the ear usually lines up with the bottom of your nose. So take a look at your picture, take a look at your in your mirror, and look at where does the bottom of your ear go to. All right, so bottom of my ears right there goes about to the bottom of my nose. Bottom of my nose out to here. And then you really want to look at your ear to see what is it shaped like. Because this ear has a lot of shape to it. It goes out a long ways and comes back in. But your ear may be a lot less detailed, a lot less going on. This ear is covered up by my hair, so I'm going to look at this one. And see, it comes out a little bit, goes in, and then there's the earlobe. And there we go, there's a pretty good looking ear. Notice if your earlobes are attached or not, and if that shows from the front view. Because some people's earlobes are really attached, and some people's break away more from their face, and that'll change what that profile of your ear looks like. I'm going to go ahead and draw this ear over here as well. And if you don't get your ears to look exactly the same, that's probably more accurate than if you draw them identically or like a mirror. All right, there we go. And then when you go to color your ear, you could use some of your darker skin tone to shade it in. I don't recommend drawing a lot in your ear. If you're going for a more realistic approach, you could do some little outlines like this that show like the way the ear curves and folds. But doing a lot of that can draw attention away from the face. And so you don't want to do too much. That's that part that sticks up in front of your ear canal. So anyway, doing too much detail in your ear can make it too much of a focal point. Doing too little can also make it look funny. And I'm going to erase that pencil line that separates the ear from the rest of the head. Now when I erased my pencil outline of my ear seems to disappear, so I'm gonna actually go back in with this and outline it. Because that's the color of my hair, or the darker. Okay, so that's your basic ear. You could spend more time on that, getting it more detailed, but it's really not necessary when you're doing a more simplified but still realistic portrait. Okay, let's talk hair. So on our little proportions of the face handout, you can see that they've made their hairline come halfway down between the eyes and the top of the head. So when you look at a picture of yourself, usually your hair takes up a significant portion of your head. And that is why we drew the head and put the eyes halfway down. Now, I don't like my hair in my reference picture that I've been using so far because I have it pulled back and I want to use something where my hair is down. So I'm going to use this picture instead. One mistake that I see a lot of beginners make is they try to draw the individual hair. They take their pencil and they just start drawing line and line and line. And the thing is while your hair is made up of individual strands, we just don't see those strands. You know, when you're looking at somebody, you're not noticing each individual hair. So what we want to draw is what people see. What do they notice? Not necessarily the entire detail of reality. So the best thing to do is to get a good picture with your hair the way you like it. And you want to look at the overall outline, the outer shape of the hair. So here's the top of my hair. That's going to be at the top of my head. And then my head's tilted a little bit in this, but I can make it work. Then the hair goes down around the outside and goes out a pretty good width from where my cheek is. So I'm looking at, here's my cheek. And my head is not quite this narrow, but we're just gonna roll with it. You gotta make your hair come out. All right, so I'm making it go out like an inch here because that's about how wide that feels. Now then I've also got to see where does my hair cut into my face. So my hair covers up my ear and right under my eye kind of comes in like this, covers up my eyebrow a little bit. Now, that's because my bangs have not been trimmed in a while, so if I wanted to, I could just make that a little bit shorter since I worked on that eyebrow so hard, and just pretend like I had had my bangs trimmed more recently. Okay, and then my bangs also come all the way over to this eyebrow, so I know that my eyebrow would need to be about right here. And see, you should have both of these drawn because you weren't lazy and you drew both of your eyes. Okay, that's where my other eyebrow is. Okay. Now, when I look at my hair, most of my bangs stick together, but then I always have this one curl that kind of separates. So there's my one separated curl. So if you may have something like that where you have this one bunch of hair that just doesn't quite get with the program. Now, it would be tempting to take this part all the way up, but the top of my head, like the farthest up I can see, should be like right here. You see how there's that forehead and then there's more hair? So this is the more hair. Now I'm drawing this line going up and coming back down because that's like how it comes off my forehead up and then goes down. And then I've got these bangs that really don't get with the program and they go the wrong way. Okay, I'm gonna make my hair come up a little bit taller over here. I'm looking at this part, and then it's about the same width over here coming away from my head. And I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a wave at the bottom and bring it down here. Now, around the bottom of your face, you'll notice that you see like a main part of the hair here, but then the part that's behind your neck and behind your head is just really like this dark, really dark area. So that's not white, which is another mistake that I see happen a lot. It's not just not colored. I'm gonna make this side kind of like tucked behind my ear. All right, so there's the bottom of my hair. And then right in here, this would be my neck, and this would be where I color it really dark. I don't really like it being behind my ear. Okay, I'm gonna draw it. Okay, so now I've gotta go back up here and look at how my hair is on my head and then comes down the side towards my ear, and then just gonna block it out. I'm just gonna leave my earlobe there. Okay, let's come back over here. And I'm gonna draw this hair. It kind of curls in towards my face. I'm up too high. Really, this should come in like that and like curl more around my chin. I'm really drawing my hair too short because if you look at this, like I should have a neck and then my hair should end down here off my paper. But I'm just doing what I can with the paper that I have. I was having a good hair day that day. Didn't always look that good. I guess I'm gonna make this part a little bit longer, go off the end of the paper. Okay, so now I have the basic shape of my hair. Now, if you're doing the encouraging self-portrait, again, you're gonna stop here. So really, you're just gonna get the bangs, or if you have like ponytail up here, or just the outline of your fade, or whatever you have going on. Oh, I need to do this other side of my hair. Here we go. I think I made that too big. But you know, sometimes it can be nice to exaggerate your hair, make it look a little bit better. Okay, now I've got a lot of lines going on in here because I have the original line from the outline of my head, as well as all my mistake lines from trying to draw my hair. So I'm gonna clean this up. Okay, so I've still got like these bangs here doing their thing. Got this line is important, it connects to that line. But then this area is actually like my skin. This is my skin. gonna erase this dividing line where we had divided the head in half. Get rid of this line. All right, because from here to here is all hair. These are my bangs. I could draw like where the top of my bangs are if I want to see that definition. But you don't really see where my bangs start to blend into my hair. Maybe with your bangs, maybe they're really separated from the rest of your hair. And you might want to define that more. Now my part is never very clean looking. So when I color this area, I may make some like stray hairs. I'm at a different angle with my chin in this picture. Let me go back. So this jawline is good enough, but I just want to change it a little bit because I know that my jawline is a little bit different. I don't know. All right, now let's get into actually coloring the hair. So, back to my other reference. Okay, I think of myself as blonde because when I was younger, my hair was very light, but I've been told that my hair is actually light brown. So, guess I need to recognize reality. So look at your hair. What is your hair color? You need to find some color pencils that match your hair. I've got this brown. I've got, what is this color? This is kind of like a hazel or like a light tan. What else we got over here? Here's a light brown. Here's a tan. I guess this isn't tan. You want to have several variations of your hair color. You want to pick what you think your main color is, which mine is either this light brown or this regular brown. You also want to have some highlights, some much lighter version of your hair. If you are really blonde, you may even want white or like this very light skin tone. If your hair is very dark, if your hair is black, you'll want to have a very dark brown to use as your highlights. You might want something like this if your hair is very light. You can always grab a white to blend with your color to make it lighter. So here I've just grabbed basically like all the browns that I could find, along with some like peach skin tones, some yellows. It's a good idea to grab like what you think your hair color is, as well as some colors that are a little bit off, like they're not quite what you expected. If you have like strawberry blonde hair, you'll want to get some sort of reddish oranges. You could even get some like mahogany or like a darker red, but you're mostly just going to blend that red with the main color of your hair. Now the other thing here, like skin tone, it's really important to practice, to test out all of your colors here. So I'm going to go ahead and toss this one. It's too peach. I can already tell. And then I'm going to start with these dark browns. And just kind of color a little bit. Drawing a line doesn't really tell you anything. You really want to color like a swatch. So like a little rectangle. So I like this one. I think it matches especially the darker portions of my hair. This one, this mahogany, is too red. I don't have a lot of red in my hair. Here's another brown. This is the Crayola brown, and then this is like some other off-brand color pencil. And the Crayola is just a lot richer and darker. Here's Crayola brown again. They say they're the same color, but they're from different years and they're a little bit different. although probably not different enough for anybody else to notice. Oh, that's raspberry. That's not even brown. Ooh, look at that. If you had strawberry blonde hair, that would be such a good color. That's a really nice one. Doesn't work for my hair though. Okay, this is a good light brown that I can use for some lighter areas, some highlights. Here's another light brown. This one has less red in it, it's more yellow, and that really matches my hair better. So I'm gonna put this other light brown away. This one and this one are almost the exact same color. Okay, and then I'm going to look at some highlight colors. So I've got some sort of yellow, peachy colors here. There's this. And actually what I'm going to do is color them over. So layering your color pencil can create a nice effect, make your hair look more dimensional and shiny. Okay, that one looks good colored over. Let's see. This one's too tan. Yeah, this one's too pink as well. Now, I kind of like the way this orange adds dimension to the darker colors. I'm not sure that it's very realistic, but I like it. This, I'm not sure how I feel about this, but it's close, so I'm going to hold on to it and maybe play with it. Okay. Now, we already talked about how you don't want to draw every individual hair. On the eyebrow, we drew individual hairs. On your main body of your hair, what we want to look for is shines and shadows. So on my hair, at the top of a curl, there will be a shiny area, and that's what I'm going to use one of my lighter colors for and blend with my white. And then there's like a shadow under curls or at the ends of my hair or in this back area. So I'm going to use my dark color. And I feel more confident in doing that shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and start there. All right, so I'm just filling in this shadow pretty quickly. Now you do want to color the direction of your hair. So I'm coloring vertically because my hair flows downward. That's going to make it look more natural. If you're coloring sideways and you can see those streaks, that's just going to be off-putting. All right, and here's my earlobe, and I'm not going to color in it. I'm just going to let it be there. And I've just colored this back area. I'm actually going to take some black because that shadow is really deep. It's very dark. And just lightly color over it with the black to give it some added depth. If your hair is lighter, you may not want to do this. If your hair is very blonde, you may want to add some extra dark brown back here. And of course, if your hair is black, you're just going to jump straight in there with a black colored pencil. Now I can keep layering this. Building up more layers of colored pencil creates a more solid color. One thing about colored pencil is you see the texture of the paper, and you just want that texture to be consistent. You don't want to have too much white showing through, but you don't need to feel like you have to color till there's no white at all. Okay, so I just colored dark brown, black, and then dark brown again to really blend it together. And that, I'm going to leave that alone for now. I'm going to come up here because if you're doing the encouraging self-portrait, we're only working from here up. So let's really look at those bangs. I'm going to color this part of my hair where my bangs go back and it's darker, where it goes towards my ear. And my ear's covered up, so even though I showed you how to draw the ear, now I'm going to cover it up. You don't have to draw the ear initially if you're going to just cover it up. And again, I'm coloring the direction that my hair is flowing. So my bangs come from here, curl around, and then keep going down. So I'm following that direction with the way I'm coloring. I'm not trying to show individual lines. I'm just creating a smoother texture by coloring that way. Make sure as you go, you're sharpening your pencil. When your pencil gets too dull, if the wood of your pencil touches your paper, it's going to scratch it and create these white lines that you can't color in because you scratched your paper with the wood of your pencil. So make sure you keep your pencil pretty sharp, and then don't work vertically. Like, don't hold your pencil like this. Hold it on its side. When you make the angle here, when you make more of that touch the paper, it's going to create a smoother texture in your coloring. Now I'm going to slow down here and just really do these curved lines. And I'm going to feather this so that I can feather in my lighter brown. What I mean by that is that I'm not going to create a line. I'm going to create several little lines that are creeping in to the lighter area and then light lines creeping into the dark area. Because that's kind of how hair looks. It's got these shiny and dark parts right next to each other. And see, I'm looking right here, always looking at my picture and looking at I'm always looking at my photograph and then looking at my drawing to match up the shapes of dark area that I'm coloring. Okay, now I'm going to take my light brown and start to do this lighter area. See, I'm overlapping the dark and the light area because they overlap, they blend together in real life. And then this lightness goes up to like here. See, it's like right there. So on your reference, on your mirror, in your picture, make sure you're looking at where's that light area? What shape is that? See, I did these sort of directional lines to help me, and then I'm coloring in between them. And you know, hair changes, it's always different, so if you don't get this exactly right, it's not really gonna matter. So long as you get it close, it's gonna be believable. And that is what we're really going for, is believable. Okay, I'm gonna use this middle brown. My dark brown may not be as dark as I think it is. Okay. Just blending it into that light brown a little bit. Then like right here, if I want this area to be in between my dark and my light brown, I can blend the light and dark brown together. It's looking pretty good. It's not as dark as my reference picture, but that's okay, because I like it. It's looking good. Okay. Now, up here where my bangs are coming away from my head, that angle that they flow, the angle they flow at changes drastically because they'll come from here, go to there, come from here and go to here, right? We're doing that pumpkin thing again. So again, I don't want to see individual lines, but I want to make sure I'm coloring in the direction that my hair is flowing so that if you see lines, they're flowing the right direction. Blending two colors together can create a richer color. So like here, the color feels pretty flat because I've only used one color pencil. But if I go back over it a second time, that color gets darker and richer. You can overlay the same color, or you can do two colors that are similar to each other, and it just gives it added depth, gets rid of a lot of that whiteness that's from the paper showing through. And that's really all you can do, is keep looking at your reference, keep blending colors, use light, use dark colors, blend them together, keep that highlight. All right, my highlight is getting smaller and smaller, but I'm not going to get rid of it entirely. And then I'm going to keep coloring the rest of my hair just so you can see how I do it, but there's not really much else for me to tell you about it. This is where my hair is coming away from my scalp. It's going upward, so I'm just coloring that direction. If you're a guy and your hair is kind of spiked in the front, this is exactly how you would color it. And you don't want to make a uniform edge here, because seeing the kind of end of that scribble makes it feel like you're seeing the ends of all the little hairs going up. And actually, this is still practice, so I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to finish this because this is still my practice drawing. And then what I'll do next is get the paper that I want to put this as finished work on, and I'll trace the, well, I'll finish drawing my eyes so I get that right. And then I'll trace all these shapes, the shape of my hair and everything, onto the new paper, and then I won't have any eraser marks. I don't want to put all that effort in and it still just be my practice paper. So I'm going to trace this to my final paper next time. And then I'm glad I practiced my hair, got an idea for how the colors are going to work, how to blend them together. But the next step is really just to trace the top half of my head here onto my new paper, and to put my encouraging quote at the top. And yeah, that's it. See you next time.